Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. All Chinese people look at China as the motherland. It doesn't matter if they're second, third, fourth generation removed from China. All Chinese people identify as Chinese people. It doesn't matter. They can even be half Chinese and they still identify as Chinese people. And why is this? Well, I think it's from years and years, decades, centuries of being discriminated against, I guess. It's one of those things that as you get discriminated against, you sort of group together. The country, everybody knows the history of China. And so they've got this really strong patriotism in their soul, in their heart, and I see it every day. Now that the rest of the world is basically attacking China, is basically, well, you look at what the United States is doing, you know, trade wars, backing Hong Kong protesters, backing Taiwan militarily, and you know, in theory of agreements between the province of Taiwan and the United States, blaming China for COVID-19, although it was natural, and even going as far as to shut down selling chips to Huawei because Huawei is giving them too much competition. You know, so the thing is that all of the Chinese people look at this and say, well, you know, we're being discriminated against, so if we don't pull together as one large community, and I'm talking large community, 1.4 billion people, and that's only the Chinese in China. What about the Chinese in Australia, the United States, Canada, Spain, Uganda, you name it, exactly. So like there's Chinese every frickin' and each one, and believe me, each one of those Chinese people identify as Chinese, and each one of those Chinese people look at China as their motherland. And as I said before, it doesn't matter if they've been removed from China 2, 3, 4 generations. This is still the motherland. Now you get the Chinese people that moved out of China back in the day for whatever reason, immigrating, looking for a better life, because China used to be a place where times were tough. It was hard, you know, but now they're looking at China and how China is growing. And you know, if you just left, like Wei Feng's brother 7 years ago or whatever it was, and he's still on a permanent resident card in Canada, and he can you know, he can give up that permanent resident card because he's still got his Chinese citizenship. He can move back to China. He sees China as maybe a better place than it used to be to live, more opportunity, less expensive to live, better weather, growing, taxes lower, all of these things. They're the lucky ones. Now you get the ones that, you know, mom, dad, grandpa moved way in the olden days, and now they're running Canadian or American passports or British passports or whatever it might be. They can't move back, and they see their motherland growing like it has been in the last 10, 20 years, and they may be jealous of the Chinese people that actually get to be in China and watch their country grow. Look at that puppy. You don't see that in the West. But you see, the thing is that they're feeling like they're being left out because China is growing in leaps and bounds. The rest of the world is trying to hold them back, and everybody can see it. Everybody understands it. Everybody knows it. Even Trump saying, "Oh, maybe we'll just cut ties with China altogether." The rhetoric, the mere stupidity of something like that, and that's your leader, guys, just makes China's resolve even stronger with 1.4 billion people. But not only China's resolve, as I said, all of the Chinese people around the world that are identifying still as Chinese, third, fourth, fifth generation, maybe even, as I said, maybe even half Chinese in you know, because you know what I mean. They're identifying as Chinese too. So when the rest of the world takes that look at China and says they're bad, they're actually looking at probably 20-25% of the world's population that they're pointing their finger at, and each one of these people that they're pointing their finger at is patriotic and they love their motherland. But when you get these Chinese people that have been removed from China, and you know, and they see the Chinese world growing like it has in China, it's like they're not invited to the party because they don't have the Chinese passport. They can go get visas or work permits and come over to China and work if they have the proper education and whatever. And so they'd be invited to the party. But because they still don't have that Chinese passport, they can't dance. You know what I mean? You're not part of it, and you'll never be part of it again, because China's not in the game of handing out citizenship to other countries, because, as I said in a previous video, they've got enough workers, they've got enough skilled employees, they've got enough high-skilled and educated people to fill the jobs in China already. So their immigration policy is different than the rest of the world, most of the rest of the world. But you know, so once these Chinese people are gone out of the country, they can never go back. Not in the same sense as what it was prior. But you see, the moral of this story, guys, is it doesn't matter. They still identify as Chinese, and that's the thing that the rest of the world doesn't quite understand. Because as they identify as Chinese with the Chinese people in China, they're patriotic to China. Maybe not 100% like Chinese people in the mainland, but there is that patriotism from people that are Chinese and removed from China. So when China gets attacked in various ways by other countries, the United States being probably the main one, these Chinese identify as Chinese. They love their motherland, and they are patriotic. So with all of this rhetoric against the motherland, it's very difficult for these Chinese to not back China as their motherland. It's one of those things. It's weird, because you know, Canada's multicultural. The United States, everywhere else except for maybe places in Africa or East Asia, are basically multicultural. They've sort of lost that. In China, I don't think they'll ever lose that, because of the way their government is, their immigration policies, the way the people are. It's one of those things. So next time you dish the motherland, just understand that every Chinese person in the world is part of that motherland, and it'll never change. They'll always back it. It'll always be what it is at this moment. I see the Chinese pride. I see the Chinese working hard, and I know that the Chinese will always be Chinese, and that's the moral of this story, guys. And that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Thanks for watching. Hit the bell. Don't forget to resubscribe, and always put a couple of bucks on the children's Patreon account. It's for poor rural Chinese children. They just need a helping hand. We can give them that helping hand. Help me help them. Thanks for watching. Bye now.
再来一次。是
这么拿的吧？应该竖起来多一点的吧？瞬间捕获了所有的镜头。
我这个披肩
这个蓝色的，
你应该站
在那边吗？
对，
哎，好。来吧，我来当一下模特。
有男装吗？
还有，哎，对呀、
Okay, dance.
Dance?
Dance.
Dance what? I don't know. 叮叮叮叮叮叮叮。
That's it?